Well, it's May the 20th. It's about 5:30. We're setting up for the Liberty Hills Country Club, or pardon about that. Liberty High School Golf Team Banquet. I don't know why I said Liberty Hills. That's the home course. This is the head table. Those are the centerpieces that Franklin Banks made. That's okay. Just cut right in front of me. And we've got the tables all set.
We were way early.
I know.
Well, I didn't know.
Well, and then, like, you know,
Would you like to show
you know,
Yeah.
You got shot at that
Table there. You want to set it up here? I think we'll go ahead and start this as much as possible. The food was great. Hope you're enjoying it. Great atmosphere. It's very nice to have this facility just for our use. So I hope that's something that you're enjoying as much as we did. I want to welcome all of you here to our annual golf awards dinner. Coaches try to prepare something for our kids. We don't necessarily think of the venue for it. We let the senior parents make that determination. We just know that we're going to have an awards presentation for the kids on the golf team. And whatever that venue is varies with each year. This has been a great evening thus far. So we do want to express our appreciation to some people who made this evening possible. Especially to the Baileys and Swinford Sabrina, who organized this, orchestrated this, and made it possible for us to have the entire restaurant available to us. Anytime you have a season, you complete your season, you have a lot of people that you have to express appreciation to, that you want to express appreciation to, and certainly we've had support throughout the season. It's been a very unusual season for us because, first of all, this spring has been a very unusual spring. We've had very difficult conditions since the very beginning of the golf season. We had our boys out playing one day when it was 28 degrees, and it takes a pretty hardy golfers to go out in those conditions. But I can say that we never had any complaints that we listened to. So I think all in all, they showed pretty good toughness in getting out. And I wish we'd had a better situation in terms of the weather. You normally have some really cold weather at the beginning of the season. By the middle of the season, you start getting a few warmer days. But this year, it just seemed like we had wind, we had cold, and we had rain. Virtually every aspect of bad weather we had, we were able to get through it. I also want to express appreciation to Jim Tucker, who was our bus driver throughout the season. This is the first year that we've actually had transportation from the junior high to the high school out to the facility itself and back. And that was really nice. We were sort of reluctant to consider it at first because we've always had the tradition of carpooling out to the golf course and so on. But this year the bus taking the kids out, I think, made it a lot easier for parents than it had been in the past. And so I think that worked out real well. And Jim was willing to take on that duty. And there isn't a more avid golf individual around than Jim Tucker. He's a fine player and loves to talk the game. And he had a hole in one he likes to season, when we talk about our season each year, we try to talk about it in terms that are a little bit different than maybe you would in other sports, because we have 26 players on our golf team. And most high school golf teams consist of about 12 to 14 players. It's very unusual for schools to be able to keep as many golfers as we are able to do. And there are some positives and negatives involved in that, but we think overall keeping as many kids involved in the program as possible is the ideal approach for us to take. It doesn't mean that we have as much time for each individual. For the most part, managing the golf team is maybe a better way of describing what we do than actually coaching them at times, because when you have 26 players on a facility that we're sharing with another high school, sometimes trying to get them to the tee box and getting them playing in some kind of flow that allows them to play 9 holes in a reasonable amount of time, maybe that's the largest part of our responsibility for that particular day. But we are hoping that by keeping these kids involved, that maybe there'll be a little spark of interest in that individual who's never really been totally turned on by golf before. And what we do know about golf is the kids who really play well during their junior and senior years are kids who played a great deal in the summer. The improvement they make in the summer is certainly much greater than it would be at any other part of the season. The kids that come in the spring and progress through the end of our season make some improvement, but usually people who've made the greatest improvement have done so by spending a good amount of time and a good amount of repetition on their game during the summer. We try to schedule, or we certainly overschedule. If you've ever had a chance to look at our schedule, you realize that for the most part our 3 coaches are involved in matches or tournaments virtually every day. Try to have a coach at practice, and other 2 coaches are usually traveling somewhere with the kids, because we try to overschedule so that we can get as much playing opportunity as possible for our kids. However, it's not possible to have a full schedule for all the kids, because most high schools don't have players from 15 down through 26. We can schedule 10 players fairly easily, but finding opportunity for the other kids requires a little more effort. But we try to make sure that we give each of our kids some experience. And this year, unfortunately, we lost about 4 or 5 contests because of bad weather. And that hasn't been the case in the past, but that may have been a factor for your son, because we try to look at our schedule and think about complying with the state rule, which says you can play in 7 tournaments and 5 matches for a total of 12. Then you have conference and district tournaments. But we try to get a full schedule for our top 10 players, and then try to fill in as many other opportunities for our other players, our beginning developmental players, as possible. While I was expressing my thank yous, I didn't leave out the 3 individuals that I'm going to mention right now on purpose. I just wanted to take a moment to express my personal gratitude to especially Jason Carr and Jeff Braden, who are my assistants. The opportunity to work with people that I consider to be finer people than these 2. I can say I really care about each one of them. They're just like brothers to me, and I really feel like I can ask them to do anything, and they'll do it. Most of the time when you're coaching, you're a head coach, you have certain responsibilities that you take on, and you realize are your own. But these guys are always willing to do whatever I ask them to do. They volunteer to do things that that would otherwise be my responsibility. So I'm deeply appreciative of each of them as my assistants in the program. But more than that, they're really good friends, and they're really good people who genuinely care about the kids. They love golf, and they care about our kids. And we spend a lot of time talking about what we want to accomplish in our program. It may sound a little bit, I hope it doesn't sound corny to say that we want to accomplish more than just make them better golfers. We really want them to become better people. We want to emphasize how important it is for them to play with honor, how important it is for them to treat their teammates with respect, and how important it is to have that respect of their teammates throughout their high school career. That's why we try to emphasize how important it is to be totally accurate about the scores that they keep, make sure that they're applying the rules fairly, and we want our kids to be above reproach in those areas. So those are some traits that we know will transcend the game of golf and that will make them better people beyond this game. So I think those two fellows are particularly instrumental in helping me try to do some of those things in our program. And even tonight, they're making suggestions about ways that we can do things better in the future. So I feel like we have excellent cooperation. And of course, I want to thank my wife, who's responsible for telling me everything that I like and want. Sometimes I have doubts about what I want to do, and she will tell me. It's been sort of a trying spring for me in a lot of ways. My mother was very ill and passed away not too long ago, and I'm moving into a new home, so there's been those stresses associated with that. And this morning I couldn't find my shoes. I just moved, and I did find 70 pairs of my wife's shoes. But throughout this time, I've had to support these three people, and I deeply appreciate it. I want to get to the most important part of our evening, and that is to talk about our kids. And I want to have our freshmen come up who were part of the team. They're not all here tonight, but I know Tanner Wetzel is here, and Chad Walthel's here. And Tyler Phillips, are you here? Zach Lester isn't here, wasn't able to be here. He had another awards opportunity at the junior high. Ben Hansen and Nick Brown. Would you all come forward, please? I'm going to call the following sophomores up. Alex Wood, Sala Still, Alex Nelson, Devin Montague, Sean Mears, Andy McConnell. Those sophomores come forward, please. This is Sala Still, and Sala is a player who made a great deal of improvement over the course of the season for us. By the time we got to the end of the season, he was one of our top 5 golfers, and in fact, I would say there was kind of a general and gradual progression in his game that maybe escaped some of our other players. Teammates may not have noticed that his game was improving. And we kept tabs of the statistics, and you could see that he was developing some consistency in his game. And he might have an occasional bad outing, but generally speaking, his scores were staying around 40, 41, 42 in that area, and sometimes a slip into 39 or a 38. And so we could see that he was making that kind of progress, and then that proved true as we got down to the crunch time at the end of the season. Once again, Sala, as you can see, has the physical stature to develop into a really excellent player. He's already a good player, but we feel like if he can focus his attention to his golf game over the course of this coming summer particularly, that he can make that step forward and really be one of the best players on our team, and we feel like we'll have a chance to be competitive with anybody in the area. And then this is Devin Montague, and Devin has been a varsity player for us for 2 years. He was our number 2 player virtually all season. Recorded probably our best round of the season when he shot 72. Very disappointed. I know he was very disappointed that he didn't qualify qualify for a state because he had certainly played on that level all year, but couldn't get into one contest, and sometimes things don't work out. I saw him miss about a 2-foot putt, and I just, for some reason, had a foreboding feeling about that because, you know, when you get into district time, whenever you miss those little give-bees, what you'd like to think would get the putts, it can come back to haunt you. But next year, we don't think that'll be an issue because he's going to shave about 2 more strokes off his game and be the leader on the team and one of the very best players in the area. So this is definitely mine. Okay, could we have Branson Albertson, Austin Allen, Jim Darter, Ryan Donaldson, Jake Glazer, Nathan Graham, and Derek Martinez. This is Jake the Snake Glazer. Jake kind of came out of nowhere in some respects this year because he had been a pretty good player and he has the ability to score, but he doesn't have a classic golf swing. If you're looking at him on the driving range, you might say, well, is there something else he could do? But when the results come in at the end of the day, his scores are right there. He's always competing with the top players, and so at the end of the season, he was a player who qualified to go to state. He was an all-district player, so that clearly speaks for what he's able to accomplish with his golf swing. I say it's not classic, but there are a lot of excellent golfers who don't have classic golf swings. He knows how to score. He's a scrambler, and so he had a really excellent season. The guy here is Derek Martinez, and Derek was an all-conference and all-district performer. He qualified for state. He was one of our 4 golfers who went to state this year. Derek is an excellent golfer. He would say that his primary goal is controlling his head. When I say controlling his head, sometimes, frustration, loss of focus, giving up, shooting under par, then shooting way over. He's identified all these elements in his game that he wants to correct. But really, he is an excellent player, and we knew coming into the season that he was going to be right there. And I think next year will be his year to really shine. So, congratulations to each of these guys. Clayton, are you here? Clayton Blunt? Okay, could I have Jeremy Glazer, it's Ryan left, I believe, Aaron Sternicker, and Derek Swinford. These 3 individuals are all 4-year players in our program. Because of that, we like to give them a little token of recognition. We give them a keychain shaped like a golf bag with their name on it, a little indication that we have appreciated their 4 years in our program. Aaron Sternicker came as part of a family tradition. We had his sister in the program, and she was great for us. And then Aaron came along, and he's been an excellent golfer for his 4 years. He's also another multiple sport guy, football early in his career, and then became a swimmer. And during our golf season, probably was trying to do both things at the same time, often rushing off to swim practice as soon as he's finished with golf, and had a really great swim experience this year. And we've had a lot of fun and a good time with Aaron over the last 4 years. So congratulations to Aaron. Glazer, and Jeremy's been in our program for 4 years. Like Jake, if you saw him on the driving range, you would recognize him as a Glazer. But he can produce. Produced all season, was one of our top 5 all season. Regressed just a little bit towards the end, but not so much a regression as it was some other guys challenging him. But Jeremy had an excellent season for us, and we enjoyed the years that he had in our program. So congratulations to Jeremy. Derek Swinford. When I first saw Derek, he was just a little kid up in Playcrest, and I would see I'd see him up there hitting balls off the driving range, and I had a chance to meet his grandmother one day there, and I hadn't actually remembered all that until just recently. I kind of put it all together. I remember my first time meeting Mrs. Bailey and the connection that we've had over the last 4 years. It's been a good time. And I've seen Derek grow as a player in terms of his golf game. And I've seen him shrink as a player too. And now he is definitely a golfer who gives every bit of what he has in every swing. He has finesse also, but people comment all the time about his club head speed and how he attacks and so on. And he has taken his game to a very, very high level. He's going to go on golf scholarship this next season. He'll be playing at William Woods, and I think he'll have a great experience there. I think he has a tremendous upside in golf. He's capable of going low right now, and as he develops more consistency, and one of the things that's been very helpful to Derek is that he's had a lot of experience playing very good people in very good tournaments throughout the country. His family's been very, very supportive of him in that regard. Now, I know that not everyone can do that, but I can tell you that whenever you have a chance to play against good competition, your sense of your ability to compete in that environment increases. And I think I can see that happening to Derek over the last 2 years in particular. You know, he's never intimidated by the situation, and he was our outstanding player throughout the season, was likewise last year an outstanding player for us. So we've had a great 4 years with Derek. So congratulations to each of these. So would Derek Martinez and Derek Swinford come forward? We try to give recognition to each of our players who medals in one of our matches. You know, in tournaments, the medals are given, you know, by the host school for that particular tournament. But we also try to recognize our low score in each of the matches that we had. I won't go through reading each of the matches, but these 5 medals were won by Derek Swinford. And these 4 by Devin Montague. These 2 by Sala Still. And Chad Waffle. Sean Mears. Nathan Graham. All right, each year we try to give recognition to the player that we think has demonstrated the most promise for our future and our program, and this year's winner is Chad Waffle. We really feel that Chad has a great chance to be an excellent player, and just a freshman, and shows some of the traits of the really fine players. And I know he enjoys the game, and I think he can develop a passion for the game. And if he can turn that passion into a great work ethic, we feel like he has a chance to be a very, very good player in our program. our most improved player was a little bit more difficult. We had so many players that we felt had made that improvement. As we talked about the players tonight, you probably heard me saying much the same thing about a lot of our players. And I think it is genuinely true that we had a lot of players who made significant strides between last year and this year. But in the end, we felt that the most improved player for 2008 was Solid Still. This is the award we give to our the person who has the lowest scoring average for the season. We call this our Medalist Award. And this year, that goes to Derek Swinford. This is kind of this is my favorite award that we give. We call it the Coach's Award because really, it's just an award that we give to the individual that we feel embodies the traits and qualities that we want to see all of our players possess. And we're talking about the kind of character that we think is exemplary. We're talking about, the kind of person that, we feel total trust in, that we just enjoy being around for many, many reasons. And the winner of this Coach's Award is Ryan Donaldson. We recognize him this year. He's working on his Eagle Scout, and we did not feel that he was at that level quite yet. We gave him what we called our Starling Award. Keep his ego down just a bit, but he's been a great kid in our program for 3 years, and we just feel like he's the kind of kid that you want your son to be, and we're just really proud to have him. Things before we draw to a conclusion. We have some information up here that you might want to take a look at, and I don't necessarily recommend or endorse one over another, but here's some information about a 2008 Colorado golf camp. Here's the Oklahoma State golf camp, if you had any interest in something like that. Here's the Optimus Junior Golf Tournament, if you have some interest in looking at that. And here's some information about the Junior PGA Championship, if you want to take a look at that. So those are some things you can take a look at if you have some interest in that. I want to extend these challenges to all of our players, because this is really addressed to our players who are returning next year. We've had success in our golf program, but we haven't had the success that we want ultimately. We haven't been able to get into that top 4 at state or to win a state championship. We've had district championships, we've had conference championships. We've had growth by our players, and that's all very rewarding, and I don't want to minimize any of those things. But we know that it's possible for our kids to achieve at a very high level. But we also know that it's not going to happen unless we commit to the repetition that's required to really develop your golf game. It's maybe the hardest sport of all. It's not so hard to get pretty good, but it's very, very hard to become excellent. And you have to commit to a lot of hard work, and that requires dedication. And we want to extend that challenge to our players to get involved in the summer, in the off season, to play against good people and watch what they do. Learn the mannerisms and the etiquette of really quality players. Learn how people handle themselves in tough situations on the golf course and how they think their way through their rounds. Learn the mechanics of good swings, but then just the repetition. Nothing better than just playing as much as you possibly can. So I want to encourage all of our returning golfers to think in those ways. Decide whether or not this is important to you. It's really wide open for you. There's so many great opportunities for you. We've had 28 kids in our golf program that have gone on to play golf in college. Now, not everybody is going to play golf in college, and everybody will want to, but there are opportunities available out there if you have that desire. So we want to really extend that challenge to all of our returning golfers, and we want to come back with maybe the best team we've ever had next year, if you guys commit to that kind of thing. You know, when you spend 4 years with kids, you get a chance to appreciate them on different levels. One of the things that we've always enjoyed doing, and we weren't able to do it this year, but when we've gone, we've been able to travel, sometimes we've been able to travel in vans. And when we travel in vans, you have more of an intimate environment. We've had some good conversations with our players. And I think back to last year when we went to state, we had 6 guys in the van, and we were just talking about life. It's amazing that high school boys would ask questions like those boys did, and you could tell that they were, this may sound really strange, I wouldn't want to admit it, but one of the guys says, how do you really know when you're in love? Well, these are high school boys asking these questions among boys, and it was really kind of fascinating because you had a chance to get to know each other on a level that you typically would not. But when you have kids in your program, they wouldn't tell us. But we've had a great time with those guys. We wish them luck and hope they can come back. And we have our scholarship tournament this summer. If any of you have an interest in playing in that, that money is all goes totally to all the money from our scholarship tournament goes right into the scholarship fund. I don't have anything to do with it. I don't have anything to do with the whole process other than the fact that it's just a scholarship was started in my honor some years ago, and we take that money and we award it to a senior golfer in both the boys and girls side to kind of help defray some of the costs of going to college, and I know all parents appreciate that. So if you have a chance to come out and play in that tournament, we really encourage you to do that. I don't know the date yet. It's right the 1st of June. Try to get that information out. Now, before we go, I know that there are some little golf bags on the table, and I know there's not enough for everyone. But if any of you have an interest in that, you can take those with you, and those are, kind of donations are extended to you from the Baileys and Swinfords. And Derek Swinford had a poem he was going to read, and I think this is of his own creation, so we'll listen to that, and then we'll call that enough.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't spend too much time on this, but it's here on this day where I present to you a group of gentlemen that are so true. Each individual on this tough team will make a parent proud to a degree. 18 years and counting, I have learned so much. And everyone on this team was once my crutch. Here I present to you the team of 08. Words cannot describe us, not good, awesome, or great. Braden, you are not only a coach, but a true friend. One who will be there until the journey's end. Coach Bertolli, dry humor and all. You always seem to catch us as we fall. Coach Carr, what a guy. Has camo pants. Destined to success, these men will be, as I leave you in the world alone and free. I leave you with these words, straight from the heart. Be true, be fun, be dedicated, be smart.
Okay, could I have the 5 guys that were on our district team come forward, please?
Okay, I'm going to talk. Okay, I've been around you guys. I didn't really get to know the freshmen this year, but a lot of you have become my grandsons also. Only this one is really my grandson, but I've adopted all the rest of you. And my virtual grandpa and I decided this would be kind of a neat thing. This was like at the district, and it was all the boys that got to go to the district. And so we had them sign it, and I want all you guys to take one. It's okay. They're Jacob. They're Derek. They're Solace. And the coach said that I could, even though Derek's going to leave next year, he said I could come sometime and watch you guys, okay? And bring candy and treats, okay? Thank you, boys.
May 27, 2008, Municipal Auditorium. The star of the program. A belated signing of your book.
Okay, if your kids are not in school, I just would have bitch. Because when my grandmother would tell me she had to pay the school taxes, I go, why do you pay school taxes? None of your kids are in school.
Everybody has to pay, I guess.
Thank you. You may be seated. We'll begin with our procession.
First of all, that we care about you tremendously, and secondly, that we wish that you celebrate very safely and responsibly, because of our care for you, we ask that you use good judgment as you celebrate this tremendous event and milestone in your life. Many of the people that care most about you are in the audience right now, and they have supported you tremendously throughout the years of your education, and they will continue to do so as you move on to whatever endeavors you pursue. I want to recognize the parents right now. So parents of the graduates, please stand. Let's give the parents of students out here that you see are either in the military, serving in the National Guard or some other branch of the military, or are planning to go into the military. Graduates or soon-to-be graduates who are in the military or planning to go into the military, please stand so we can recognize you. We appreciate you.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3. B-L-U-E-J-A-Y-S. We are the students. And we are the best. Okay, got it, Dr. Jacobs? Okay, now this is the drill. Finish the formal okay? B-L-U-E-J-A-Y-S. We are the students. And we are the best. Wake up, class of 2019. Yeah.
I think Sam's confidence is on Shedlock. If you join me. Mr. Sedlock, Board of Education, Mr. Brewer, families and friends of the graduates of 2008, each of these individuals standing before us at the gala have completed their graduation requirements from Liberty Senior High School as established by the Liberty Board of Education and Missouri Department of Education. Let's congratulate these individuals. Class, you may be seated. Mr. Sedlock.
Good evening. On behalf of the Board of Education, I commend each member of the 2008 graduating class of Missouri High School. The ceremony tonight acknowledges your scholastic achievement. For the past 13 years, we know that each of you has invested a great deal of time and hard work to reach this milestone in your life. We are exceptionally proud of you, as you should be of yourselves. Congratulations to each of you. We also congratulate and thank your parents and family members. Be sure to take time to thank them yourselves. We also want to thank Liberty Public School faculty, support staff, and administrators who have given so much to make possible the accomplishment we are celebrating tonight. Their efforts have built the foundation and provided you with the educational tools you will need to accomplish your goals and your dreams. Their efforts exemplify the mission statement of our district, empowering excellence. Now, as you know, excellence never happens by accident. As you move on to the next step in your life, I offer you that vision statement and these keys to your future. Be true to yourself and your own dreams. Never dismiss your dreams, for from our dreams spring hope, and from hope comes purpose. Dream big and achieve your dreams. Never set your goals by what others may deem important. Set goals that are important to you. Always set lofty and worthy goals. Remember, it is better to shoot for the stars and miss than shoot for the ground and hit. Don't ever give up as long as you have something to give. You are the secret to your success. Your persistence and perseverance will often push you beyond the limits of your intellect and talent. Never take for granted what is closest to your heart. Cling to them as you would your own life, for these are the things that give your life meaning. Live your life so that when others think of fairness, caring, and integrity, they think of you. Do your best. Promise yourself to think only the best, to work only for the best, and to accept only the best. Only you know what is your best, and only you know if you gave your best. 2008 graduates, may you never cease being excited about the possibilities that are open to you as lifelong learners. We congratulate you. We celebrate you. May your journey from this building tonight be filled with accomplishments that will make the world a better place for us all. On behalf of this community, we welcome you to your future. Thank you.
He's standing up. Oh, there he goes. Busted.